Now we end with the empty tomb. And why is that so important? What is the big deal with Jesus raising from the dead? What does that mean for us as Christians? Well, I'll go back to day one with our two balloons. And our shirt representing sin, right? Keeping us from God. So Jesus, knowing why he was here, came to take away our sin. But the problem is, Jesus was left holding our sin. He took it away from us so we didn't have to deal with it. But whoever is left holding sin has to be punished. This is what God demands, because for the wages of sin is death. So whoever is the one holding sin has to be punished, has to die. Now, when we are holding sin, we're the ones that have to die. And that broke God's heart. God didn't want us to have to die in our sin. So he sent his own son, Jesus, to take the sin away from us. But then since he's the one left holding it, he's the one that has to take the punishment. He's the one that has to die. Now, I usually have a little cross. I don't have one with me now. But I have a little cross, and I take the shirt, the sin, and I lay it on the cross. And I say, Jesus died with our sin on the cross. And after he died, they took his body along with our sin, and it was buried in a tomb. And I take the shirt and just throw it in a box or throw it away, out of sight, not seen, not visible anymore. And here's why raising from the dead is such a big deal. Because when Jesus rose again from the dead, he didn't have our sin anymore. It was gone. When Jesus came back, he came back without sin. Just like we now, because of what Jesus has done for us, can be without sin. Remember on day one, when we talked about, remember that time you lied. Remember that time you disobeyed your parents, right? Well, because of what Jesus did for us, that time of remembering, right? God is separating our sin as far as the east is from the west. So remember that time that you lied? Well, guess what? It's gone. It's gone. Forever gone. It cannot come back, because when Jesus raised from the dead, he took sin away forever and can never come back. I'll do that again. Remember that time you disobeyed your parents? Well, guess what? It's gone. Just like that piece of paper, it's gone. It can never come back. Remember our iodine thing. And I'm not telling the kids it's iodine. That's only for you guys. But remember this whole thing on day 2? Right? It's gone. Sin has no effect, no bearing on us anymore if you have Jesus. And see, that free gift is for you and for me. It's free. Jesus offers it to us as a gift. But here's the catch. You have to accept it. And at this point, I go into the ABCs. I go in, we admit, we believe, and confess. And if you admit that you're a sinner, that's the first step to accepting this gift. How do you accept it? Well, you admit that you're a sinner. You say, yes, I'm a sinner. I disobeyed my parents. I'm disobedient. I lie. That's sin. I admit that, and I turn from it. I turn away. I use the example, if you're going this way and you're lying, then you turn around and you go the other way, because you turn away from sin. That's part of admitting that you're a sinner. You turn away from it. And we're going to, you could add more iodine. You're going to, but that's the power of Jesus. Is you may walk away from sin, and you may end up sinning again. You will, because we're human, but you're covered. You're free from it because of what Jesus has done on the cross and raising again from the dead. And that leads me to the believe. We need to believe that Jesus really is God's Son. And when you believe, you will confess with your mouth openly that Jesus is Lord. And that's how you accept that gift, that free gift. And when you do, we can be with God forever. And that's our object lesson for day 4. Hope that'll help you out.